Hello and welcome to another edition of Talkin' Business. I'm Joey Trombley, and on the camera is Calvin Castine himself, the founding father. Today is the 23rd day of February 2016, and our travels have taken us on Route 9 North to Plattsburgh, just outside of Plattsburgh, to Poirier's True Value. Chad Poirier is the proprietor of Poirier's True Value, and there's a long history here with the Poirier family in the North Country, and it's fun chronicling, I can't say the word, Calvin, chronicle their growth from when they started in Champlain across from the old Kimpex building, the old Harris Graphics building, and they've grown substantially over the years. So we're going to go inside and talk to Chad and talk about his new endeavor here in Plattsburgh. It will be his second store, his second True Value store here in the North Country, and we've been in there before we got on the camera. It's a really beautiful store, and we're looking forward to talking to Chad and talking about the thought process that went with him to decide to open up another store here closer to Plattsburgh. So we've made it back inside here at Poirier's True Value here on Route 9 in Plattsburgh, and I'm with Chad Poirier, the entrepreneur, the business owner. Now, are you on your own on this, or is your dad with you on this?
No, this is all me here.
This is all you?
Yep. And my wife.
And your wife.
Yes, that's right. Everybody has a boss.
Yes. Oh, yes.
That's mine.
Thank God Calvin's there to lead us.
That's correct.
Because Calvin does no editing. So,
yep, that's perfect.
We got to make sure we get it right the first time.
That's
we
right.
got to get it right the first time.
That's right.
And we were just talking off camera, and it just seemed like a year ago that we just did your store up in Shazy, and you're telling me it's like 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah. Not without looking back, I'm going to say probably 4. In that range.
Now, I know one of the reasons we came down here because there's generators that you have that are automatic. You don't have to fill them with gas or anything, and we're going to get into that, and that's one of the main reasons why we came here. But I want to talk to the folks about the evolution of the Poirier family, because your dad started way back on Elm Street in Champlain,
yes,
across from the old Harris building.
Yep. So
how many years has that been, or was he there, I should say?
He's been there. He was there for a long time. I think he first opened there in about 1984 or 5, in that range.
So that was just about when Harris was leaving then?
Yes, right at the end of Harris time.
Yeah. But now, did he open it as the plumbing business, or did he take over the store? Because there was a convenience store.
That's right. The convenience store was closed down for a period of time, and then he reopened it.
Right. So he tried that for a couple years.
Yep. It worked out for probably 6-8 years. He had it going.
Okay.
And then as Harris was out, the Kimpex building, and they brought a lot of different clients in there, but it was just nowhere near the people that Harris had there.
Sure. And then he decided, now he was always doing the plumbing on the side, but he decided to make that the main office, right?
Yep. Yeah, the office was always there in the back. And the store was just like a thing to keep going because it was there for a period of time, and there was a lot of people.
It was more plumbing supplies, right?
Yeah, we had small hardware in there.
Okay.
Really small, along with a deli and groceries and stuff.
Okay, and then you moved everything from Champlain to your current location in Shazy.
Yes.
Okay, and what year did you do that?
Well, I'm going to say 2011, 12-ish.
Okay, and that was a big move.
That was a big move, yeah.
A real big move.
It was a big expansion for us. The HVAC company has been growing pretty steadily, and I said when I moved there, I'm set for life here. We got all kinds of room. And,
right.
Well, that was short-lived.
That was short-lived.
Yeah.
Well, of course, you have a couple rentals there, too.
Yep.
And while you're running your business out of there, you basically had a limited supply of hardware, right? It was mostly plumbing, if I remember there, right?
Yeah, mostly plumbing, electrical stuff. We were confined there.
Okay.
It was a tight spot.
And then I guess it was a natural progression to get into a hardware store. So how did True Value become into your mix?
Well, I had in Shazy my own get-up hardware store. I put it together myself, and we were getting enough foot traffic where it was becoming busier and busier, and it was working well, and I decided that to go branded. So I looked into all the brands, the Ace, the Auverchons, Do It Best, and True Value had the best incentives and the best deal, the easiest way for ordering and replenishing. And so they came down, we had a meeting, and they agreed to come in.
Because at that time there was one True Value kind of transitioning out of this area, right?
That's right.
So there's kind of like an opening there.
Yep.
Okay.
They protect their territory. So it was kind of a gap that looked good for them too. Losing the one in Champlain. And
all right. Now in this new building, This building was what before you purchased it?
It was FW Webb's.
Okay,
That was a wholesale plumbing and heating.
and they went out of business?
Nope, they moved. They built a new facility on Tom Miller Road.
So they're on the Tom Miller Road.
Yep. Yeah, huge facility.
Okay, and then, so this became available?
Yep.
So what was your thought process thinking that I want to open up a second store coming down toward Plattsburgh? Because this was a big step for you.
Yeah, this was a big move. In the plumbing and heating business, we seen the need here. You know, talking to our customers, we do a lot of work in Cumberland Head, Point of Rush, in this neck of town, neck of the woods, and everybody kept saying, you know, we miss the Auberchons that was here, and there was the farming family, and you know, there's a large population right here.
Right.
And I always thought, you know, in our own travels, man, it's a tough. You know, from here to getting in the city to a hardware store is tough.
Right.
So I thought that, you know, a hardware store would do okay there.
Right. So this was definitely a leap of faith on your
Yep.
part, big time.
Yep.
So when you moved, now you have two hardware stores now. Shazy
Yep.
will stay there.
Yes.
Shazy's doing well.
Shazy's doing well. I plan on doing a large addition there this summer.
Oh wow.
Putting
Okay.
a storefront in.
And then you had mentioned that you're just been open a week or so,
Here about 2 weeks, yep.
and the foot traffic is catching
It's
on.
been fantastic.
Okay,
No.
so you are definitely hitting a missing niche.
Yes.
In each in
Yep.
the area.
Yeah, the response from the community here has been overwhelming. Really.
Okay. And you just have like a soft opening, or you have it a grand opening
No,
yet?
just a soft opening so far. We're going to have a grand opening probably in April or May.
Okay, and so where the people are talking about the Auberchon Hardware and the Family Farm Center, that is just literally what, half a mile down the road?
Yeah, not even.
Yeah,
Yep.
just around the corner.
Just right here.
Right around the corner.
Yep.
Okay. So then you made another big move too, is that you took your the infrastructure of your plumbing and heating business and you
Yes.
moved everybody down here?
Yes. Yep. So we made this building a multifunction, really.
Okay.
We're utilizing the warehouse for our HVAC company and the True Value. So now we have a lot of warehouse space, so we can stock for both stores here, really.
Right.
So that was pretty beneficial, and we doubled the square footage of the existing building.
Okay.
So our offices are now here in the back.
Okay, so now now you opened up space in Shazy then.
Yes.
So you'd have any plans for that space?
Yeah, we're going to make that space bigger for the store. And like I said, in the summertime, we're going to put on about a 4,500 square foot addition there.
Okay.
So we put a regular storefront in, and we'll be able to put the things in there that we've been wanting to do.
Right, kind of limited because of the
Yeah, because True Value has
size.
endless options. I mean, for all different things in a hardware store.
So now are you bringing all your tanks down here too?
For the meantime, they're going to stay there because you know, they're fenced in there, and it's a pretty good spot.
Right. Okay. And now, when you're talking about like the one hub to drop stuff off, so like the True Value truck drop at one stop here, or they stop at both places?
Yeah, they're going to stop at both places. We've
Okay.
actually, another really good benefit for the True Value is that they deliver this part of the woods 2 times a week. So we're able to have one store on a Thursday, one store on a Tuesday. So now we're only a few days between special order stuff.
Right. Okay.
So that's been a really big benefit.
Sure. Now, what's the size of this store, square footage wise?
Almost 6,000 feet.
And then Shazy store is
Well, about 3,500.
wow, so almost double.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
So you obviously offer more here.
Yes.
But when you put the addition on in Shazy, it'll be almost kind of a mirror image.
Yes, exactly. That's
Okay.
what we're going to shoot for. You know, the aesthetics will be the same. I kind of want everything to be looking the same.
Sure.
and
Sure. I mean, you've done a beautiful job on the outside.
Thank you.
There was a lot of work put into
A
that.
lot of work.
So how long, from the time you got the building to prepare it to open, how long did it take you?
About 7 months.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 7 months of construction.
Right. And you were tied in with that too?
Yeah, we did it all in house.
It was all in. So
Yep.
while you're doing your normal jobs,
Yep.
then coming here after or
Yep.
trying to fit them in?
Yep.
Wow, that's quite an undertaking.
Yeah, my father stepped in there quite a bit. He managed this project for me for quite some time, you know, through
Wow.
the construction phase.
Right.
So,
I bet you're glad that part's over.
yeah, it was long. Towards the end, it was enough. It was time to be done and get the doors open.
Okay. Now, did you want to take us back to where the generator?
Yeah,
And I guess. Well, why don't you tell them about the generators? You're going to kind of show us how it works,
Yep.
but tell us about this new line of generators.
So we became a Generac dealer.
Okay.
So Generac makes a standalone, fully automatic generator. Runs on propane or natural gas. So these units are completely independent. It senses the power. If the power goes out, they'll automatically start and switch over to generator. So
So they aren't. The generator's not hooked up to the panel.
It is hooked to the panel.
It is, okay, so you got to be
Yep.
by the panel.
Yep. So it's hooked right into your electric panel.
Okay.
And as soon as it sees that the power is off from the road, it'll actually start the engine of the generator,
Okay.
let that warm up for a minute or two, and automatically switch the load. Takes the power from the generator, puts it into your panel box.
So there's no surge of power or anything they have to worry about.
No.
Oh.
You'll see a small delay. I think it's less than a minute.
Okay.
Your power from your lights going out to them coming back on.
Of course, people are used to generators where you got to change the oil and put gas in
Yep.
it. So you're saying this, so you're kind of hooking up a line if you got or propane.
Yep.
You have a line already hooked up there if need be.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, propane or natural gas. There's a lot of people who have the option natural gas, which is, just as good as propane.
So when has this technology hit this area?
It's been out for a little while. We've been putting them in for about 3 or 4 years pretty consistently. But we went to the Generac school and became a dealer.
Okay.
So they have a wide range of options, so it fits just about anybody's budget.
Okay. So they're starting to catch on more popular now?
Yes. Yeah. In the last
More
year,
word of mouth type thing?
word of mouth thing, and as people put them in and get a chance to use them, they're just like, wow, that was easy. That
Okay.
was nice.
Now, of course, we're thinking of there's a power outage and you lose power, but they got a generator and they want to use it for other reasons.
Right. Well, this would be hooked to your house.
So this is strictly for the house
Yep.
if the house loses power.
That's right.
So you can't use
Take it with you,
or do anything else with
it's a
it.
stationary piece of equipment.
Okay. Is there any big maintenance on it?
No. No, the maintenance is very easy.
Okay.
It's a typical engine that every year, every other year, you got to change the oil depending on how many hours are on it.
Okay.
But it's to look at, it's like an appliance almost, so to speak, like a furnace or a water heater, something that's.
Is it a real big unit?
They make them all the way from they look like a little cube that are about 3 feet by 3 feet, all the way to bigger.
So what are the watts, for range of watts that you can get?
They go all the way from a 4 kW to 50 or 60.
So let's say a standard 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, 1,500 square feet, 1,800 square feet. What kind of wattage would that need?
The most typical one is anywhere from 7 to 11 kW.
7 to 11.
That
okay.
would run everything
Everything.
that anybody would need in an emergency situation.
Okay.
The smaller ones are very good, the 4s and 5s, but you just got to pick what you want, so to speak.
Okay, and you do that. You obviously done that ahead of time.
Yes.
Okay.
You talk about what your needs. What
Right.
lighting circuit is most important for you, and what do you want to run? Do
Okay.
you want your well pump to run if you're out where you have a well?
Sure.
What lights you want,
Okay.
stuff like that.
All right. So we're going to go back and we're going to take a look because you're going to kind of explain to us how
Yep.
it works, right?
Yep.
Okay. So we're back in the warehouse area where you have a couple panel boxes open for us. So kind of explain how the process would work.
Sure. So there's 2 different styles of transfer switches, they're called. One is a whole house, which you would typically use with a bigger wattage machine. So if you have a machine that's like a 20 or 25 kW, you would typically put a whole house transfer. So what that does is it takes your these are your main wires that come into your panel. It takes these main wires, reroutes them to a 200 amp switch. So they would come out of here, go into your switch, and then out of the switch back to here.
Okay.
So what that does, it'll switch your whole load. Every circuit that you have in there will be live.
Okay. But now what happens? The power comes back on.
Yep.
It senses that. So
Yep.
I'm sure the generator shuts off.
Yep.
There's not an overload when it goes back to the main panel?
Nope. So that's what this switch does. The switch that would be here mounted remotely, it monitors that, and it's a 200 amp rated switch. Actually, when the power comes back on, you won't even notice it. Barely a flicker in the lights.
Okay.
So it waits for the power to come on fully, and it sees that it's going to be consistent. And then if you're standing here, you'll hear a snap, but the lights will barely even flicker. So it's that instant when the
Wow.
power comes back on.
I mean, this is so much easier than having to
Oh, the plugs.
plug it in, and
Yep.
then again, you're changing the gas and the
Yep.
oil like once a day, and So,
Yep.
yeah, this is really interesting. Now, you talked back inside about a range of wattage, like a 7 to 11
Yep.
watt would fit a house. Just, I know I can't probably not pinpoint it, but from a 7 to 11, what's the price range to get these installed roughly?
Well, the small ones, like the 4s or 5 kWs, it would be anywhere from $4,000 completely installed, up to like an 11 or a 12 or 15, anywhere in that range. You're talking maybe $7,000, $8,000
In that area?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I know we were talking about Generac, but Generac's not the only one that does this.
No, there's several different companies. There's 2 or 3 other big companies like Millbanks and different ones, and they're all very good.
Right, and I mean, it's not like you have the exclusive to these in the area.
No, that's right.
Okay.
That's right. Generac. I even think Lowe's sells Generac.
Okay.
Just a different. We are a servicing dealer.
Mm-hmm.
We can do the service to them. And
Right, now do you have a relationship with Lowe's that you're their dealer for anybody that buys through Lowe's?
they have contacted us about that.
Okay.
So
There's something else you're working on?
Yep.
Okay. I mean, there's always something in this business.
Oh, there's
huh?
always something. Yeah. There's
I mean,
always-
so much room for growth.
Oh, there's so much work to do for everybody that there's just plenty of work.
I mean, you as the owner, how do you put up with all this? There's a lot.
Yeah. Well, my main focus is that I can keep all my guys working and busy.
Now, do you go on the jobs anymore, or are you pretty much running the show?
No, I like to go on jobs.
Okay.
I look forward to that, and I don't get to go to as many as I would like to.
Sure.
But that's my favorite part.
Yeah, to be doing that.
Yep.
Yeah, but there's a lot of management stuff.
There's a lot of management
Now, do you
stuff.
have a manager?
Yes, I have a couple different managers that are fantastic. My service manager does a great job.
That's Ed?
Ed, yep.
Yeah.
Ed Garrow. He takes care of all the service stuff, issues and customers. And
Right.
I've got my store manager in Shazy, George. He does a good job, so he takes care of that sort of thing.
Okay.
We just hired Scott LeBombard for our new facility here. Yep. So he's
Okay.
going to be an operations guy.
All right.
And he's been doing a fantastic job. So.
Yeah, and it's all about having good people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And we have an excellent team.
Yeah. Now, how big is your growth now as far as employees now?
I think we have 28.
28 employees
Yep.
now. Wow.
Yep.
Between everything.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic. We have, I like to say, the best.
Yeah.
We have the best people.
Well, I mean, you have obviously a very good reputation in the area.
Yeah, we focus heavily on customer service. That's our number one thing.
I've seen Ed in action with customer service, and he is phenomenal.
Yep.
He
Yeah.
is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all the best.
They're all the best.
They're all the best.
All my guys are fantastic.
Okay, well, I don't think we mentioned Rainey's Repair. Have we mentioned that word?
Yeah.
Have we? Okay.
Well, yeah, Poirier's a true guy, and then I said way back when, but it started with Rainey's Repair, but you still Rainey's Repair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
So
what we're talking about with all the service people.
right.
Yep.
So I mean, so you got two divisions of what you're
Yep.
doing. Rainey's Repair. So
Yep.
explain what Rainey's Repair is.
So Rainey's Repair is our full service company, so to speak.
Okay.
HVAC, plumbing, electrical.
Okay. Unthawed and frozen pipes.
Yes.
But we haven't had that this year.
Not too bad.
Last year was crazy.
Last year and the year before
Right, 2
were
years were nuts.
very intense. Very
That's a
intense.
good word.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good word for
That
it.
was something that we've never experienced before.
But I mean, this has been mild in that aspect, but it's freed you up to do other things.
Yeah, it has. I mean, it just keeps us at a normal pace,
Right.
as opposed to a insane craziness.
Right. Right.
When it gets to be like that, just a couple weekends ago, where we had that short 3-day
Yeah.
frigid
freeze-ups?
blast, yeah, and it just happens so fast that the phone goes crazy, and
And you're trying to manage it.
that's right. And it's all we always want to do it. We don't want to say
Right,
no.
but of course, when you get everybody calling, and there's people frustrated on the other side.
Yes.
Because you aren't there like now.
Immediately, sure.
Right. And that's just human nature.
Yeah. So we do our best. I think we do a pretty good job at that. Explaining to people we will be there. Just be patient a little bit.
Right. So that's the Rainey's Repair, and that's actually what your dad started.
Yes. Yep.
Back 30 years ago.
Yep.
Okay. And then you came into the business when?
I officially bought the business from him in 2007.
Oh, did you worked with him before,
Yeah.
prior to that?
Yeah. I was standing on the seat riding.
So out of school and stuff, you started working with him full time.
Yeah.
And what years would that have been?
I graduated in 2000.
Okay.
So from that point on.
And then in 7 you purchased them out.
Yep.
So your dad is still involved, but kind of in a silent way.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, he helps out when you.
Oh yeah, he always helps out. I'll call him up and say, "Hey, listen, we're buried here." I don't usually have to ask him; he just knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll show up and
He'll
say,
call you, Chad. It's
Yeah.
not pretty busy right now.
"Yeah," I'll just say, and then he'll show up the next morning, and for a week or two at a time.
Right.
So
Well, that's good that you have that to fall back on.
yes, no, I was very fortunate, really.
And I mean, and plus with his knowledge, I'm sure.
Oh,
even
yeah.
Putting the store together, you ran ideas by him.
Oh yeah, well he was here. He managed the project here for.
But you had to talk about things like
Oh, of
how
course.
you
Yep.
how you wanted this to be, how
Yep.
you wanted that to be.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So that's great.
So we've just worked together so much that he pretty much knows what I think about things. I know what he thinks about things.
Sure.
So it
Yeah.
works out pretty good.
One of the reasons I wanted to come here was because of these generators, and I know that Chad's one of the people that has them available, and again, other people have them, but, every time we had a freezing rain warning this winter, that's the first thing that came to my mind was 1998. The other thing that comes to my mind is carbon monoxide. Now, is your generator going to be inside here? Are you going to have to worry about carbon monoxide?
No, that's a great point, actually. These things are standalone units outside. So when you look at these things, they just look like a big box. It's a completely painted finish with a cover. It doesn't look like a generator. It doesn't look like...
Now, do they need to be covered?
No, they come self-contained.
Really?
Yep, they're completely self-contained, and they're made to be outside. So there's no chance of somebody wheeling this in the garage and shutting the door and running them in the house and
Running
all
in
these
the
horror
basement,
stories
yeah.
that you hear of
Well, we had
after the
horror
fact.
stories in '98.
Yeah, we did a lot.
Yeah.
And in 1998, it was this technology was there, but it was not popular like it is now.
Even generators weren't popular.
That's
then.
right. Yeah.
How many
Yeah.
people didn't have generators?
That's right.
Everybody
Yeah.
was scrambling
Yep. To
to
get
try to
something.
find one, and
Yep.
you kind of probably paid too much for some of these
Yep.
generators at the time. But it's
Yep.
supply and demand.
That's right.
But it's one of those things that you hope that you don't need.
That's right.
But boy, if you do,
Yeah.
it's nice to have it.
That's why these things, the technology in these things, they test run themselves weekly.
Okay.
So they'll actually start for 10 minutes and run every week. So there's no, you have your generator in the garage. I got to
Right.
pull it out and start it every once in
Right.
a while and that sort of thing.
Well, what about can you talk about oil? He's like, you have to service it like a year, every 2 years.
Yep.
Service. At what point, if it's running,
Yep.
that let's say that like the 98, we haven't had an ice storm since. There's
Yep.
probably 2 or 3 instances where you had to use it
Yep.
because of losing power. But let's say the oil's just sitting there and you aren't using it.
Yep.
How long should you change it?
You should do it yearly just because condensation or moisture from just setting.
Okay.
So that's why they did put this automatic test feature in.
Okay.
Because it's better for it to actually run a little
Right.
bit.
But even if it hasn't been used every
Yep.
year, you should have the oil
Should have it
changed.
changed.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Just to be safe.
Yeah.
Rather than take a chance when you really do need it.
Right. Right. Well, that's interesting.
Yep.
Calvin, anything more on the generators?
No.
Okay. So we're back into the store section here, and I mean, you're a full service hardware store, obviously. There's
Yep.
a lot of product here. How do you do, do you think of that, or is it True Values here hand by hand to set you up?
They do a pretty good job of that.
Okay.
They'll do a layout, and essentially, I will pick what we want to have.
And do they pick the layout of the store
Yep.
and make suggestions where you should have what
Yep.
products?
Yeah, because they do studies and research and all
Sure.
that stuff about how consumers will walk through and look
Mm-hmm.
at things, and that's their profession really. So I did let them. I just gave them a drawing of the open building, and
Mm-hmm.
they kind of laid out which departments and how it was going to flow.
Okay. Well, it looks very, very nice. You've done a nice job here, and it's nice to. Calvin's been very good over the years. The evolution of people of the North Country,
Yes.
and Rainey's Repair, Poirier's True Value is
Yep.
part of that evolution. And you can go back from the beginning when he started taping. I'm sure you must have taped Rainey before Rainey's Repair.
I was at Elm Street Mall.
Yeah.
Elm Street Mall. There,
Yeah.
so he was
That's
there
right.
back many years ago, and
Uh-huh.
and we've seen the evolution, and that's the beauty of Hometown Cable. And this edition is called Talkin' Business, and it was a brainchild of Calvin about, well, time flies by, 3 years ago or so, and he wanted to get different businesses out here so people know about it. But today we want to really talk about those generators, which is
Yes.
really, really cool.
Yes.
So if you can support Hometown Cable, send a donation to 1477 Ridge Road in Champlain, New York, or the website is now back up and running, and he is posting videos now, or these shows now, and it'll probably be posted within the next 24 hours. by the time you see that, it will be posted. But more for your sake, you better see the show and share it with your employees and the people that you know. So again, if you feel compelled and you enjoy what Calvin is doing, and after 32 plus years, he is a North Country icon here for us, and but he needs to do it. He has no state funding or federal funding. So again, if you can send a donation to 1477 Ridge Road, Champlain, New York, and on your website, Calvin, is your PayPal account on that yet? Okay. Coming soon, the PayPal account on HometownCableNetwork.com. Again, I'm Joey Trombley with Chad Poirier, the founding father of Hometown Cable himself, Calvin Castine. This has been another edition of Talkin' Business.